Hi, namaste. My name is Crystal. Welcome to today's practice. Today's flow is going to be a self-care flow. There's never been a time that we need more self-care than we do right now. Almost 2 years into this pandemic, all of us going through really difficult, challenging times. So we got to take care of ourselves. So yeah. Yoga for me is, all of yoga is self-care, but today we're just really going to tap in and drop into the body and listen and get really intimate and really close and find out what it is that nourishes us most on the mat and off the mat. So with that, find yourself on an easy cross-legged seat. Inviting you to close down the eyes or just soften your gaze. Tuning into the breath here. Just feel as though you're just tuning out the outside world and you're tuning into the inside. Just connecting to the breath. Dropping your weight down into the earth as we find a softness within. And we're going to go into what we call a self-care pose. I've learned this from a recent online training with embodied yoga principles. So I'm going to give them credit there. And you might need to just gently flicker your eyes open halfway. And we'll have one hand, one arm go across like this across, and just put your hand across your neck, shoulder here. Just hold yourself. And then the other hand just wraps around the waist. So it's sort of like a self-hug, but normally when you just say self-hug, you think of like a kind of a cross arm thing, which can be a bit awkward. This is really, really beautiful because your arms are not crossed. One hand is caressing the top of your neck and the other one just sliding across the waist as you would hold your loved one. And just notice how you feel in this pose. Is this familiar to you? Or is this unfamiliar and a bit foreign? And just notice what comes up. Any emotions? And whatever that comes up, just embrace it. Embrace the feeling. For me, the first time I went into this pose, I felt a huge surge of emotion rush up to my chest. And with that sense of, gosh, I need to do this more. This is wonderful. So just staying for a few more breaths and just letting the sensation of this embodied posture soak in. And if you're feeling the self-care right now, that's wonderful. But if you're not yet, maybe. It'll take a while. That's why we practice. Just one more breath. Releasing out through the mouth. And then we release our pose. Drop our arms down to our legs, caressing our knees, our thighs with our hands. Beautiful. From here, gently bring your palms together in front of your hearts. We're going to rub our palms together. I'm going to continue on with a little bit of self-massage as we drop into this whole idea of self-care. So with your warm hands, begin to just cover your face. We'll start with the face. And just sense how your hands and your fingers softly going over your different body parts, and how that actually, what kind of sensations and what kind of state you're gradually going into. You're doing this alone at home. You can go ahead and just, let the hands travel around your skin. No one's watching, so it doesn't have to be weird. And just allow your whole body to feel that sense of care and nourishment that you're giving with your own touch. And we all know that, some of us have not been able to visit friends and family, and some of us haven't had a hug in a long time. So that sense of touch is such an amazing and important element in our lives. All right, one more breath here. And then sweep the energy down to the hands, come back into prayer. Beautiful, and then open your eyes once again. Lovely. Let's come and slide our hands forward, coming into all fours. All right. I forgot to mention that if you have a bolster or pillow, we might want to use it in some of the poses. All right. So the first pose we're going to get into is child. Have your knees not too wide, just about coming down straight from your hip bone, your hip socket, sorry. I'm just going to bring your arms maybe alongside your body. Just staying here for a few breaths. Just feel yourself ground. Feeling that safety, the protection of your back body that's facing the outer world, and all of your soft bits, the vulnerable bits, your heart, your organs, all of your vital organs are facing inwards, protected by the earth. One more breath. Gorgeous. From here, we're going to extend our arms out in front of us. Inhale. Come on to all fours. Making sure your knees are underneath your hips. Wrist underneath shoulders. Begin to rock side to side, front to back. So we're going to come into a minute or two of free movement here. So if you practice with me often, this is what I like to do. At the start, just dropping into the body and moving as the body needs to. It could be cat-cow, it could be hip circles, or even salamander, which is something I learned recently, and it's this side to side kind of movement, like a salamander, like a lizard. So just tapping into that reptilian
Or if you don't want to go as far back, that mammalian part of us where we used to be on all fours. And it's nice to once in a while just tap into this part of ourselves that's, you know, we tend to try to avoid all the time. And no, I'm living in my prefrontal cortex and I'm logical and I'm rational and all of that, which is good, but something about being on all fours that just connects us to our ancient ancestors. And to me, that brings me a huge sense of groundedness, connectedness, and inevitably self-care. Just a few more breaths here. And then we're going to exhale, sink it back into a child. Maybe take the knees a little bit wider this time. Or if even you have a bolster, you can slide it underneath. Rest one cheek on it. And there's this something about having a bit of pressure onto against your body. It's like getting a hug. And that is also just this magnificent sense of reassurance, of self-care. Take one more breath. Beautiful. From here, inhaling, pushing the bolster away if it's right next to you. Coming all the way back, tuck the toes under, slide your hips to the sky into our first downward facing dog. Go ahead and walk out the dog. And just take this first self-care downward facing dog as a wonderful, delicious way to just arrive into the body, arrive into somewhat of a upside down inversion. And then from here, I like to maybe just, what I'm going to do is sort of like roll my hips forward, and you notice that my upper body is curved, so I'm like a cat. And then I'm going to bend my knees, maybe have your knees even touch the floor, and slide the hips back. Hips to the sky. Exhale, come forward on your toes, and then inhale, slide it back. Few more times like this. Lengthen your heart. Forward, exhale, push the hips back. One more. Draw everything forward, maybe letting the hips come down. And then inhale all the way back. Beautiful. One breath here, finding a neutral spine. And then bending the knees, walking or stepping to the front of your mat. Lengthen up halfway. Exhale, knees are soft as we bend forward into the earth. Now you can grab opposite elbows, or for today, I want to experiment with just reaching my fingertips out to the front a little bit so that I find there's a sense of reaching and lengthening through my spine. I'm going to drop my weight back into the heels, feeling that extra opening through my glutes. Head nods in a yes and a no. One more breath. Bending through the knees, we're gonna inhale, gently roll ourselves up with semi-effort. So you're not just dragging your whole body up, neither are you shooting your arms up to the sky. Slowly come on up, reach the fingertips to the sky, super slow, super deliciously. Open it up the heart, maybe placing your hands behind your head here. Heels to the back of your head. Draw belly in, shining the heart up. And as the heart lifts, the legs are strengthening. One more breath. And then exhale, come all the way to the earth once again. Uttanasana, forward bend. Shake it out a little bit here. Just wriggle your shoulders side to side. And then inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, sliding both legs back into a downward facing dog. Actually, let's inhale to a plank pose. Let's finish up with, like, complete this vinyasa, And then bring your knees to the floor, chest and chin. Slide everything to the earth. Point the toes back. Inhale, lift up to a cobra. Exhale to fold. And then inhale, come all the way back up. Hips to the sky, downward dog. Beautiful. 2 breaths here. You like, you can continue to step the feet out one at a time. Otherwise, let's bend the knees, look forward between the hands. Inhale, step the right foot to the front of the mat. All right, and then back knee comes down to the floor, point the back toes to the back. Engage the leg muscles as we press into the front leg to lift up to a low lunge here. Let's place our hands on our knees, on our front knee first and foremost. Draw the shoulders down our back and find that length through the spine. Leaning into the back body, just a tad. Let the rib cage kind of get neutral. Tuck the tailbone down. One more breath. Beautiful. And then inhale, let's float arms up to the sky. Sending the heart up, feeling the brightness through the chest. Gorgeous. And then exhale, place the left hand down onto the mat. Inhale, right arm up to the sky. Easy twist. Gorgeous. Inhale, reach the arms over the ears, and then open up. Taking 2 more circles. Enjoying how the arm moves around in space. Beautiful. From here, inhale, come all the way back up into a high lunge. Exhale, let's take a twist over to the right. Drop the right hand down, left arm up, feeling the left side stretch. Beautiful. And then both hands coming to the earth. Let's step the right foot back, downward dog. Inhale, left leg floats up. Exhale, step it forward into a lunge, back knee down. Inhale, come up, low lunge onto the other side. Take a moment to adjust, to feel the groundedness, the strength in the legs. And then inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Beautiful sense of, a nice sense of a lift here. Keep the toes active. One more breath. Beautiful, and then exhale, take a twist over to the right. And from the twist, drop the left arm down, right arm up. Beautiful. As we reach down through the left fingertips, reaching out through the right, find a sense of balance, openness. And then exhale, both hands come down to the earth, downward facing dog. Beautiful, one more breath. Inhale, stepping the right foot to the front of the mat. This time round, land the back heel to the ground. Inhale, come on up. Warrior 2. Placing your hands on your hips first. Get your legs nice and balanced, strong and grounded. And then reach our arms all across, all the way, open up. Beautiful. From here, we either stay with the arms outreach, and if that's how you're feeling strong and open, or maybe let's come into a self-care pose. So right arm comes over to the right shoulder, left shoulder, and left arm across your waist. Staying here just for a few breaths. And notice the difference in this warrior pose. So we always do warrior a certain way with the strength, and now we're taking that intensity down a notch by coming closer into ourselves. How can we be strong and at the same time take care of ourselves inside? One more breath. Beautiful. And then we're going to straighten the front knee. Bring the right foot in, left foot out. And then we're going to inhale, reach our arms up, and exhale, take it over to the other side. So left hand comes over left shoulder, right foot in, and we bend into warrior two over to that side. And I know if you have the computer in the front of your mat, you're facing the other way now. Don't worry. We won't stay in this direction terribly long. Just want you to have a sense of that wonderful strength of warrior two. At the same time, feeling like you still can nourish yourself while you go out there and fight, right? One more breath. Beautiful. Inhale, reach your arms up, point the toe back to the front, and exhale, let's expand into a nice big warrior this time. Reaching your arms up, nice and strong. Beautiful. And from here, soften the back arm to the ground, to the back leg. Inhale, reach the right arm up to the sky. One more breath. Beautiful. And then exhale with the front knee bent, resting the left elbow over the knee. Sweep the left arm up to the sky into a side angle. Draw belly in. Now, in any pose that you do, you can add an element of self-care into it. And it could be just maybe dropping the hand across the waist, right? Or if you like, you can even bring your hand down into the lower back. And some people feel a nice sense of comfort when their lower back is being caressed. Beautiful. One more breath. Or just even maybe looking down at your toes. It helps you feel more grounded. Beautiful. We're going to release the top arm to help you get all the way back up. And then exhale, hands to your heart, stepping and pointing to the back of the mat now. Inhale, expand out to that big warrior pose. So just notice how that feels, the difference between this and then going out and reaching it, right? Once you've got that element of self-care, you've taken care of yourself, you've gone for that walk, you know, you bought yourself those flowers. Now I can show up. Inhale, reach the left arm up to the sky. And then exhale, elbow over the knee, right arm over the ear. Lovely. All right, from here, you can keep the arm over the ear. You can have it holding your heart, around your waist, maybe caressing your belly. Some people just love rubbing their bellies. Nothing wrong with that. You don't have to be pregnant to enjoy rubbing your belly. One more breath. And then strong legs. Inhale, come all the way back up. Let's step to the front of the mat. And then just light shake. Shake it up. Dropping the hips side to side. Finding the weight coming from one leg to the other. Shake out the fingers, the feet. And then slowly finding your way back to Tadasana, mountain pose. Take the expression of mountain you like, the self-hug, hand to heart, hand to belly. Just checking back with yourself once again. Beautiful. Opening up your eyes. We're going to come into a balanced pose here. So I'm going to just face you. Leaning over to the left leg.
we're going to release the hand and just hold that right knee up. And as we hold that right knee up, we're not using the strength of our arms, it's just a nice support here. Beautiful. Very nice. Then we're going to place that right ankle on the top knee. Bring your hands to your heart. Okay, so it's like an open number 4, figure 4. Oops, drew a number 4 with my, excuse me. See? Tricky. Very nice. From here, you can stay, and that is the balance posture for you. Or you could come and bring your fingertips to the earth and come into a little forward fold. Let your heart just melt to the earth. Keep pressing through the standing leg. Keep lengthening through the spine. One more breath. And I'm going to press into that standing leg. See if you can come up slowly. Hand to heart, or hand caressing your heart. And then release. Shake it out. I don't do that one very often, so I'm a bit shaky. Good. Let's go on to the other side. Taking your time. Feeling both feet on the earth. Find your center. And then leaning over to the right leg, we're going to lift the left knee off the ground. And as you lift the left knee off the ground, notice if you've started to somehow find a slump or lean, try to really get centered and push through that standing leg, nice and tall. All right, now we're going to place the ankle on the knee, hand to your heart. Okay, this could be the pose for you, or you could start to just bend the front knee, lean your glutes to the back, your hips to the back, and you might want to even just find fingertips to the floor. All right, or you could just stay here. This could be the pose, resting your elbows over the knee. In some ways, this is actually more challenging. All right, I'm going to do this one with you guys. Keeping that standing leg strong, and even the leg that's lifted, the feet is active. One more breath. Wonderful, pressing through the foot. Bring your hand to your heart as you release, finding the balance and neutrality once again. You might want to shake it out. Shake it out. Dance it out. Yeah. All right. We're going to do one more standing pose and then we'll come down to the earth. Let's take our legs nice and wide. All right, so options. Few options. One, which is quite, if you want to get a nice shoulder stretch, you can interlace your fingers behind you like this. And then just walk your legs nice and wide, outer edge of the feet parallel. And I'm going to come down, okay? If this is not comfortable for you, you don't like it, bring your hands on your hips. So either way, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, heart leading the way. Come on down. Bring your feet, hands to the outside edge of your feet. Or you can stretch your arms out wide in front of you. Or if you're interlaced fingers, just hang them there. It's going to be one of the last inversion poses, so just allow all of the blood to rush into your head. Make sure you're not leaning into the outer edges of your feet too much. Just bring it nice and centered. One more breath. And then if your hands are on the floor, bring it back to your waist. Inhale, bend the knees, come all the way up. And exhale, release. Heel toe, your feet back together once again. From here, finding your center, finding your self-care pose. Checking in to how you're feeling. Beautiful. Let's come to the front of your mats and we're going to come down through a little vinyasa, half vinyasa. Feet hip distance apart. On the inhale, sweeping the arms up. On the exhale, surrendering to the earth. Inhale to lengthen halfway. Exhale, stepping back into a plank all the way down to the earth. And then inhale, halfway, the cobra. Exhaling, downward facing dog. This is actually the last inversion. Sorry, I lied about the earlier pose. One more breath here. Beautiful. Bend knees, look forward. Inhale, hopping or stepping to a cross-legged position. Nice. Feet either in Baddha Konasana or outstretched. You choose. Finding a nice tall spine, pressing your sit bones into the floor, and then exhaling, just walking your hands forward and finding a sense of softness and respite here. So if your feet are together, soles of your feet together in Baddha Konasana, same thing. We want to just feel like it's time to wind down. Giving your body cues. The beauty of a yoga practice is that in every sequence we do, most of the different kinds of yoga anyway, there is like an arc where you warm up, it gets intense, and then there is a winding down. And for me, what I've realized is the more I practice on my mat, this mini arc that I do, in the hour, I tend to kind of extend it throughout my life as well. So I never really have problems going to sleep. I just know that the cues, I listen to my body. I know when to turn off the devices and the screens, and sleep just comes. One more breath. And slowly inhaling, coming back to center. Bring your knees together, if they're not already. And just windshield wiper side to side. Let's come down to our mats, and we're going to hold our hands behind our knees and just slowly drop our whole upper body down towards the ground. From here, just going to knock your knees inwards towards each other. Place one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. For a moment here, just sense that wonderful support that earth is providing us on our back bodies. And then from here, we're going to draw our knees into the chest, hug it in, rock it out. Go circles on the sacrum, one direction and the other. Beautiful. We're going to place our feet down, hip distance apart, and we're going to come into a couple of bridge poses, maybe 2 times. It's going to be a really gentle bridge, and it's more for us to feel the sense of stability and how our whole body can work together in unison to support us, all right? And with that, let's press your feet. Feel your 4 corners of your feet press down into the mat. So your feet's about hip distance apart. And your knees are going to point up to the sky and not go out or in or anything like that. Your upper body is soft and relaxed, neutral. Pressing your feet into the floor, We're going to rock our hips forward and then tuck the tailbone under, and you feel your muscular energy of your legs lift your lower back off the ground. Right, so you're not coming super high. We're just gonna stay in like a really gentle, calm bridge. And notice how the muscles around your knees need to be activated a bit. Your thighs, your quads, and your glutes are definitely activated, but are they over clenching? If they are, just relax a little bit and just allow your other parts of your body to help you in this posture. Just like in life, when we can't cope with whatever, we need to ask for help. We need to tap into, support we can get from our friends and family, people around us. And the whole body is a symbol of that village, that community, that everybody can get in together to hold this pose. And you're not just using the lower back muscles to but your face is relaxed, your arms are relaxed, fingers are relaxed. One more breath. And then slowly drop your spine to the ground, slowly, slowly. And then reach the legs out to the front. And with our heels on the ground, we're going to jiggle our hips, our lower back, and give our whole back body a little massage here. Beautiful. We're going to go do that one more time. And you can keep that same height, same bridge height, or you can go a little bit higher if you want like a bigger back bend here. Right, pressing your feet into the floor, engaging the leg muscles, lift your hips off, staying in the same one as we did before, making sure you're just noticing which part of your body is engaged more. Can you use your core more? Maybe use the quads a little bit more. Or if you want a bit more height, walk your shoulders in towards each other, interlace the fingers, and even if you're here, you're not suddenly gonna like push your hips high to the sky. Still maintaining integrity of the bridge pose. Is the left leg working a bit more than the right, maybe? Taking one more breath. Good, releasing the hands and then coming down to the earth, straighten the legs once again. I like to place my hands on both sides of my hips here, or just place your hands wherever it feels like comforting and nourishing. Good. Now bring the knees into the chest. Hug it in. Hug yourself. Give yourself a nice curled hug. Beautiful. We're going to drop our knees to the left. Extend the right arm out. Come into this final supine twist. Giving your body a chance to ease and find release through your torso. On the inhale, knees come back to center. Use your core, use your awareness, and then drop it to the other side. Such a wonderful self-care pose, this one. Wonderful. Slowly come back to center. Squeeze the knee into your chest. Lift your head and shoulder off the floor. Rock it out like an egg. Like you're really going back into egg form, embryo form, curling
And then taking Shavasana, corpse pose, the opposite of the embryo. All right, I like to bring a nice pillow or cushion under my knee, bolster I mean. My lower back is like, gets so much support and nourishment in this one. So extend the arms and just let the whole body calm. With each inhalation, you are drawing in kindness and love from the universe. And with each exhalation, you are imbuing each cell with that kindness and love. The more kindness and love we show ourselves, the more we're able to give it away. And also using your intuition to notice what's really self-care and what's a numbing out. Sometimes we may need to do a bit of numbing out to bring us into a place where, all right, I need real self-care now. Stillness, rest. Staying as long as you need in Shavasana, or just deepening the breath. Filling your whole body with the goodness of our surroundings. The exhalation of the trees becomes your inhalation. Wriggling fingers and toes, wrapping your head side to side. And reaching arms over the ears, over the head, draw your feet together. And rolling on one side. Also a beautiful self-care pose, this one. Fetus. It's the pose that we spent 9 months in our mom's belly here. Totally cared for. We didn't need to do anything, just received. So how wonderful it is still here for us to tap into. And then gently pressing yourself back up to a seat. And ending once more with a self-care gesture of your choice. You could use the one that I taught you at the beginning, or a simple double hand over the heart. And just noticing whatever that's coming up or feeling in this moment. Otherwise, going to bring your hands to your heart, bowing, sending you all gratitude this day, and wishing you all wonderful self-care. Namaste.